Well, here we are at Jacksonville, 103rd Sport Complex. We got Arnold, SGK, Southern Georgia Karting. There's April, Axel. We got Scott Wentz in the house. We got Big Willie Racing. We got Mikey Bolin. And we got myself. We got Bandit. We got Ranger. The ride up here was interesting. Alright, here we are at Jack's. Warm-up is in. It was a really good warm-up. The setup was a little bit different than I'm used to. It had a lot of rear grip, but it wouldn't bog the cart down at all. Like, it had really good grip, but nothing boggy. I had my amp practice tires on, and I was gonna just changed it to the CKNA weekend tires, but I decided to leave the amp practice tires on because I ran pretty good lap times and the cart felt really good, so I didn't want to use up my good use set, if you know what I mean. But overall, I was not getting a push or anything, which was my biggest worry, because I had to tilt the seat back and to get my center of gravity lower. I just took my seat, tilted it, and rocked it forward, so I still had the distance forward, and I was still able to rock and get my center of gravity down, which made the cart feel way better. I haven't complained about the cart at all since doing that. Here I'm getting it right behind my good friend Stacy. He's washed up. I said screw it, I'm going to send it, and when we start coming down I decided I need a little bit of grass for some extra breathing space. But no, the cart did great. I just started overdriving this corner right here. Since the cart had so much grip, I just started overdriving the corner. It was frustrating. I should have backed that corner up and got a better exit out. But everywhere else, cart handled great. Driver was just losing his brain. So he wasn't thinking right. But overall, super happy with the changes I made. Overall, power performance was really well. Clutch, we just tried a different engagement for this race. I was worried about burning it up, but overall the dragon skin held up great. When I saw the warm-up times, I was really shocked of how high up I was, so I said screw it, let's just send it with these sets of tires. Will you focus? He wants to go racing. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of dog stuff on this one, guys. Suck it up. Practice went really well. Surprised I had that much speed, to be honest. Trying out my seat laid back a little bit more since I'm so top heavy. Try to get my center of gravity down and not to disturb too much of the front of the weight. And I'm running a super narrow setup. Plus I'm testing out some rims. So, you know what? There's a lot of stuff going on right now, all right? I like it though, it's relaxed. Laid back weekend. Just swapped rims and tires and we'll see if we can pick up some speed. That's it. Send it. Great crowd, awesome people. This is what local racing is. This is what local racing is. I'll find something to complain, but probably a little bit later. Yeah. Most likely I'll get used to all day. I'm out for qualifying, and I was kind of shocked of how many people went out on brand new tires. Our class, not so bad. It was more like the seniors and heavy. It was crazy. Our class, there was a mix. Some went on brand new, some went on brand new fronts, worn out rears, and then some just didn't change tires at all. I thought I had a really good lap going, but I wasn't gaining on the guy in front. That's usually a tall tale sign that I'm not doing that well. But no setup changes, letting the cart do its thing, getting used to driving it, changing my driving, trying to drive a little bit better. And qualifying wasn't too bad. I mean, P8, used tires, out there, having fun. I couldn't ask for anything else. Qualifying in the books, and dude, I am surprisingly shocked. Sorry guys, you know I don't edit things out, so this is gonna be, hope it's still rolling. Yep, we're still good. You know I ain't, so very shocking how I qualified P8. Cart felt really good. It just has like a lot of grip in it, but the steering wheel doesn't feel heavy or anything like that, so
It's just really weird combo I have right now. So I'm gonna do is just widen the cart very little, and then go from there. Overall, I was just shocked how many people went on new tires for a club race. I mean, it's a club race. I like coming to the club races, but I don't like everybody complaining about how expensive the sport is, but then in the end you put brand new tires on for a local. Come on, let's think about that there, all right? It doesn't make any sense. But P8, I think I'm the second quickest or third quickest of the used tires. The top 6 are on new tires. So good practice day is going to be. We're just going to give it everything we got. Hopefully send it. This is exactly why I come to local events. There's nothing but a nice family, chilling, hanging out, ending up in a video that they probably didn't want to be in. But overall, I'm having a good time walking to the pits, talking to everybody, and keeping these two under control. On to Heat 1. The goal is top 5. Realistically, top 5. I didn't do a gear change for qualifying or anything, but top 5 is the goal. I got way more excuses too. So if I don't do well, I'll be covered in excuses, trust me. I got that covered.
On to pre-final. For some reason, our class cannot get the first start down ever. But we got the start on the second time. Got a really good start here in the back. I'm going to go 2 and 2 all the way through, and then I'm going to end up doing 2 and 2 through the chicane, and I'm going to hit the freaking curb so hard right here. So go boom. I'm going to hit that piece so hard that it shifts the whole motor mount back. I thought I bent an axle. I was like, great, I already bent this dang axle and have one of them. No, it was just the chain skipping on the rear sprocket. So every time I go in the slow corners, it would be like, I was like, oh my God, this is horrible. But I was still in a good position and I didn't want to stop, so I rode it out for the rest of the race. Handling was still great, so I knew by lap 2 it wasn't a bent axle. I knew something else was wrong, maybe rim losing air or something else. Maybe, I didn't know. Chain being loose did not come into my mind, because you know you don't expect the butterflies to slide back, because you know I run the Orenthal mount, and that thing, once you crank down on it, thing doesn't move. So me hitting that piece of the track that hard, bottoming out, was able to slide the whole mount aft, was pretty hard. Now the thing was, I'm the whole time just skipping on this dang rear gear. I know I know I must be shredding it, but man, these smoker gears held up like a champ. Honestly, it looked brand new when I got off. I used it for the rest of the day. Didn't have to change the gear or anything. Basically just tie the motor mount back up, send it. This is why I stay on track. Sometimes things fall in your favor, and the top group decided to get into it. Coming up to the last lap, they decided to get into a little accident going into the mini bowl, and I was happy I stayed out there, and I just made sure that the guy wasn't going to back out and make the move, because yeah, I saw the accident, but I was going to thread the needle and make sure I made up as many positions as I could. I was like, days of thunder, cold trickle, keep your foot down. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. At Charlotte it didn't, but here at Jackson it did. Right here he's going to lift back. I'm like, nope, 711, you are going. Oh man, I'm so glad those guys wrecked. Sucks for them, but man, I was happy. I got some spots out of it. Good race, good pre-final. I was excited for the finals to see, for sure.
There's the old 92. Man, this car has been fast all day. All I've done is gone 1/4 inch out on the rear and just kept adding. Like, I had one small spacer on the inside, then I took the small one, just put this big one in, and that's it. Haven't done anything else. No gear change, no nothing, just tire pressure and go. It's quick. I'm shocked. First race, pre-final. Started 8th. Pretty good start, side by side in the chicane. I'm guessing I hooked bumpers with someone. I went flying, just stayed right in it. There goes. There's the Three Stooges out in the back. The Three Stooges. They've been doing really good. And let me tell you, okay, When I went flying, I thought I'd been an axle because it was shaking real bad, like skipping horribly. If this gear, look at the gear. It's still like new, even with the chain stupid loose. If this was a rocket rim, it would have been shredded off. That's all I gotta say. Rocket, don't get upset. But overall, good day. On to the final, starting P5. Got some fast guys behind me. Top 5 is the goal. Hopefully I can stay there, move up, or hopefully not wreck out. But had a blast so far. I'm gonna keep having one. I'm feeling good, okay? It's like good enough that it might make me want to come back in 2 weeks, slap on some new rubber, and run for the money race, depending on what layout. Because I hate the national layout, I know that much. Ugh.
On to the finals. It had rain, but it was dry by our time, so I still didn't make an adjustment to a cart. Cart was just driving great, so I make a different adjustment. I got a killer start, ended up P3, don't know how. Just a great start, and then it was just, work my way up from there. I definitely ran a lower gear than I usually do. I usually run a 340 in this configuration, and I still think the 340 is quicker, but I decided to run a 331, and yeah, you can see the top speed difference. They're beating the limit, and I'm just coming up, sucking up. I was like, man, this thing has nitrous. It was crazy. For sure, it was one of those. It was like, oh, maybe I went way too low. But nah, it was, the cart rolled so well in the tight section that once the tire temps got up and it started handling great, I didn't lose as much as I thought I was going to lose in the slower section of the track, which would be the mini bowl. Really, you just have to carry the speed through the mini bowl and you're fine. You can run that lower gear. This straightaway is so dang long that you will suck up on someone pretty hard. And if they start being the limiter early, you might have a chance to get around them on the top end. Passing here in Jax is kind of difficult to pass in the tight section. You really have to send it in. And if they decide to run the middle of the track, you ain't making a clean pass. You're going to be using some bumper or side pod to get through. That's just the truth. But most of the passing happens on the top end, so I was thinking more of the top end. Like right here, I got a good run. I know if I get a good run out of 2, I'm going to have a really good run through a chicane, and I can make the move down the straightaway because of the gear. So it was all about closing the gap. I still wasn't driving the best, but here I'm starting closing the gap a little bit more. I'm going to get a really good run through the chicane, and I know that the guy in front of me is going to hit the limiter really early, and he does, and I'm going to shoot down to the bottom. There's nothing he can do about it. I came rolling like a freight train. Man, that MGM was cruising with rockets. And then here I'm behind my good friend Dan Pinkston. This has been a while. If you guys know the OGP days, this used to be the view all the time. The back of his damn bumper. I always love racing against him. He usually runs a higher gear like I do, so he's going to hit the limiter. I'm going to go right around. And then I'm going to go in front of him and drive like crap for some reason. Just kept overdriving turn 2 and made a stupid mistake. It was just, God. But, I mean, I led a good bit of laps because he was sitting back there pushing me. I couldn't break him if it was to save my life. I thought maybe if I get a decent run through the section, even with his draft, my top end, I might be able to break the toe a little bit. But no. Here in Jacksonville, it's really, really hard to break the toe. So I'm going to go and screw up turn 2. Like I've been doing all day, and he's going to end up passing me right under the bottom. This is a good passing place if the guy in front of you sucks like I did, and you're able to make a pass here and then go through the chicane just fine. I accidentally, hooked his bumper. I didn't even notice until the video, so I hook his bumper, and then the gear's going to bring me back to him, and at this point, I'm not going to pass until the last lap. That's my thought process at the moment. My thought process is I'm going to ride around behind him and not pass. The problem with that is I know the guys behind me are going to be hungry, and they're not going to want to sit and wait. So it's a chess match. You're going to have to make your moves here sooner or later, and sometimes you make the right ones, sometimes you make the wrong ones. But I know when the laps start closing down, and if you're not hitting your marks, sometimes it's hard to stay where you're at. So I actually, following him, did a much better job, and Kevin stayed behind me for the most part of the race. I didn't know who was behind him. I think the 144, but Kevin's gonna get tired of following me, and he's gonna go right around me as well. We were geared pretty much the same, I thought, because once I hit the limiter, he stopped. So we had pretty much the same gearing, but this is going to be 2 laps to go. So I got to come up with something to get around him and then somehow track down Dan to win this race. What was I going to do? I didn't have a damn clue, man. I just know once I make up my mind, I'm going to send it. So coming up, 2 laps to go. I know I got to goodbye Kevin. So I got to get a good run out of turn 2. And then I got to get a good run out of the chicane. And I'm going to dive it to the inside. I know he's going to go low and block. I just got to have bigger balls and go even lower. So Dan goes low, Kevin goes low, and I go lower, right in the wet spot, right there. Kevin got Dan's draft. I eat some of the grass, get on the inside. And now I'm close enough to Dan. I go, okay, if I don't make a mistake and I can stay close to him in this section of the track, I know my gear will help. Here I thought he was going to get a much better run, but we pretty much stayed even on the exit of this. The big move was going to come down at the end of the straightaway, and how clean I can get out of turn 2. I made up my mind, I have to make the pass, and it's going to have to be on the outside, because he's going to go all the way to the grass to block me. So I'm going to have to kamikaze it on the outside. I never say go around the outside. But when you're racing someone you trust, you can send it around the outside and hopefully not get wrecked. And that's exactly what happened. We went side by side, and the bull here, I know we are, oh my gosh, almost touching tires. I slide in front of him. I know I'm in front. I'm going to park it right here, and I thought I had closed the door enough, and he climbs on the back of me. Racing incident. Shit happens. Congratulations to Kevin. Excellent run. He was there when he needed to. Congratulations to the 144. He was there when he needed to. Thanks to Mgm Chassis. Freaking thing was a rocket. This time I was running the VP engine. That thing was a rocket. Thanks to Smoker Gears, and thanks for everybody that helps. Podium Products, CR Graphics. It was an awesome weekend for sure. Loved it and definitely want to come back.
Alright guys, that was the best I've seen Jorge run in a long time.
Jorge had to win, but you know,
yeah,
some technical difficulties down there in the baby bowl, but
yeah. Hey, racing's racing. He had that in the bag.
Everybody subscribe, you know, hit that like button, share, and we'll catch you in the next one.
See you guys.
Well, finals in the books. It rained. I'm glad the track cleared up. Turned out to be a pretty good race. Leading going into the mini bowl. I guess I left a little bit too much space on the inside. I thought I closed it off enough, but I didn't. I parked it, got hooked up with, I'm guessing Pinkston, and then Medeiros ran around the outside, and the 144 ran on the inside. So I ended up third on track, but wasn't thinking, picked up the cart, rolled off. I was going to go to tech, but they had told me if the first one passes tech, you know, the other, they usually don't check the other two. I mean, they didn't really do anything on painting anyway, so all I did was to paint the top of the car, but everything else was free game. Yeah, I'm just a little frustrated because probably one of the dumbest reasons I get DQ'd. So, oh well, that's just my opinion. I'm just used to going to other tracks that, I don't know, they just say screw DQ, like if we're all like gentlemen's agreement, forget it, or they only hold the top two, they never hold third. They just say, okay, you're good to go if you finish third, and that's it, unless someone else fails, but whatever. Go Jacks.
Well, this is all what's about. A good day of racing, getting some pizza, drinking some beer at a racetrack. The adults are drinking, the kids are not, okay? I just want to make sure you guys got that clear before you freak out. That last video, you guys know how I am. That's just raw emotion. I'm not going to edit that out. But, you know what? It wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. Overall, I get it. Just dealing with the dogs. Got my finger bit. Kids took the cart. So, you know, shit happens. I still think they need to tighten up on some things. I'm not taking that back. Tech's a little flimsy still, but they're getting there.
all I can do is continue to get better.
Heavy was like that crossover.
Thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy. Catch you guys on track.